Holy moly, we're here. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see everybody.
Hi.
My chickens, they're on fire. Hi, everybody.
It's 2:10.
Hi there.
There I am. Hi.
We're here. We're going to rearrange you yet again. We're sitting in front of fires tonight.
It's cold in Santa Fe tonight.
It's cold and snowy.
It's really cold. I'm trying to get the fire in.
But cozy. We're all cozy. What's it like where you are, Holly?
Actually, it was a beautiful day today, about 65 degrees in lovely California. So
Nice.
We're going to do Thanksgiving outside this year.
Oh, wow.
COVID rules, but it should be nice. We're going to do it earlier around noon. So we have some good weather and have a nice COVID safe holiday. How about you guys?
Well, it's supposed to be 50 here on Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's freezing cold now.
We have a fire pit, as you know, out at Mom's, and we're gonna put fire in there and be outside a little bit. But I'm
What?
What?
I have a portable fire pit, so I think we're gonna go outside too. We're gonna eat dinner a little bit early. I got a crown roast of pork that's gigantically way too big for 3 people.
Oh my God.
But
that's going to be tasty. That'll be delicious.
Yeah, it's a really good recipe with cider pepper glaze. It's excellent.
Well, I wanted to say thank you for my apron you guys sent me.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to make that in honor of you. So, but the thing is, I spill all over my top, so I need the flap.
Okay. Next one, I'll make you one with a flap.
I need the flap. I'm a piglet. Okay.
It's so cute.
Oh, yay. Oh, I'm happy it fits.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Super sweet.
You're welcome. We're making aprons.
Speaking of sweet.
Yes, my back is better, so I can go back to sewing.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
Well, today we're trying to be creative with some new and different sides. Thanksgiving, you've got the turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, but the challenge every year are the sides and trying to mix it up a little bit. So I was thinking about those poor, sad glazed carrots that sometimes people put raisins and marshmallows, all kinds of crazy stuff in them. And I thought, well, something in the carrot-related family is a parsnip, which I think has a lot more flavor. It's a little heartier, and makes a really great side. Too much of parsnip is too much of parsnips, but just a little. And with this sort of acidic, sugary, wine-infused glaze, it's delicious.
Oh, yay!
That sounds great.
Our dads, Lucas and Llewellyn wines. And
that.
Yeah, so this variety is Gewürztraminer, which is a German varietal known. It's very popular there. It's definitely has a sweet note to it. So that's why I want to use it with this dish. You can use any sweet wine that you like. There's a late harvest would be beautiful with this because it's already kind of a little syrupy and richer and high sugar. Like a muscat. Dad grows an orange muscat that's wonderful. That would actually be perfect.
I just want to drink that though.
You have a little glass next to you, and then you can do that.
I gotta say that Gewürztraminer is, I think, my favorite white of Dad's wines.
There you go.
It's it's delicious.
Yeah, now that it's open, now we can have a little bit with dinner too. So, but I chose this because we had it, and it is coronakitchen, and boy, the supermarkets are a battleground out there. So make sure you've got your army one, and You got to get your elbows ready because you're going to might knock people out to get to the potatoes. I had to fight for my parsnips, but it happens this time of year. It's dog eat dog.
I had a long line today to get into Whole Foods. Once you were in there, they were really limiting how many people were in there.
That's good.
This is why I did all my shopping on Sunday, so I didn't have to battle it out. And I didn't want to be around breathing people,
This one woman was in the parsley section, just handling every piece of, oh, this one's not right. Oh, this one's not right. And I said to her, I go, honestly, you need to stop touching all the parsley. So it was a little nutty. So, it's sort of try your best to be COVID careful at the supermarket. But it was, I had done all my shopping last night for us, but I went to go get the parsnips today, and it was not easy. Tomorrow's going to be worse. So get your shopping done if you can.
Well,
so
thank you for braving for us.
Just anything for you two. Anything.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Holly.
So I'll be shorter. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a true glaze. So we actually are going to use a little sugar, and it is the holidays, so that's okay.
Tell your mom to look away.
Right. This is the Jedi mind trick. So we're going to start with 1 tablespoon of sugar.
Oh, that's such a minuscule amount.
You can do a little more if you want.
That's a small amount.
And we're going to just let this sit in the pan for a bit. And let me get my.
Is there heat under that pan?
There sure is.
Okay.
Let me get this is the wrong utensil. Hold on, let me find my other spoon.
Okay. So do we know what the heat is under there? Is like medium high?
High. We want this to melt. So we're going to all the way up, and we want the sugar to start melting and caramelizing a little bit. And once it melts, we're going to add the butter, and then we're going to add some liquid, and then the parsnips. And then the parsnips cook for a little bit. We're going to cover them, and then when you take the lid off, you're going to let some of that liquid evaporate, and that's when you're going to, in about 5 minutes, it's going to form this amazing glaze. That's
How exciting.
The magic. It's very exciting. It's very exciting.
I have done a mix of parsnips, turnips, and carrots as a chop mix and glazed them, and that's a fun.
That's a nice one. You've got, there are lots of things. I like rutabagas too.
Yes.
Your rutabagas. So I was just going to do a quick tutorial on these. These have to be, I've already cut most of them up here. And I got the wine bottle on the way.
Oh, so you did nice strips.
They're like double sticks. They're a little bigger than that. But parsnips are, as you can see, they're this, and they look like a creamed color carrot. And when you chop them, you'll also see the inside, there's a core. The core is kind of tough. Mm-hmm. So unless they're cooking for a really long time, now that's starting to burn, I'm going to take that off. If they are cooking for a really long time, you don't necessarily need to take the core out. But for our purposes, we are going to take the core out. So these also need to be peeled. The skin is pretty rough. So again, because
I'm going to add this to your list of things to do. I saved the skin and the core in my freezer for my soup mix.
And there you go.
Of course you do. I only take parsnips to add to mashed potatoes.
Yes.
I find that really makes the complexity with those. That's really nice too that you can do.
I totally agree.
Core of a pineapple. Is it like the core of a pineapple, would you say? In a way, yes.
So I don't know if you can see it. But what I do is, so to get those slices, first you take, cut it in half. So you've got a usable size. So you're not going to cut yourself. Cut it in half. And they're pretty soft. They're actually a little softer than a carrot. Mm-hmm. So if you cut it in half, you can really see the core here.
Okay.
You're going to cut it in half again, which I guess would be a quarter. And then you're going to have the outside that's all core. And then all you have to do is run your knife down. And now the core is out, right?
Okay.
And then cut that up, boom, into the bowl. All right. So let's do one more, just so you can't see it with all these wine bottles in the way.
You little alcoholic.
That never comes up. Okay, so see how I'm slicing it down on this corner here where it already is, and you've just taken the whole core out.
Okay.
You just cut it in the size you want. Voila.
Super easy.
Okay. So that's, and I already did enough, so I'm not going to do it. But I just wanted to show you, just because that is a little tricky. Okay.
That's a good point, because a lot of people don't realize you should take that out.
Yeah, especially for the short cookies.
You're going to cook it long enough. Yeah.
So now we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of butter into our sugar. Since I took it off the stove.
Where'd it go?
Here, I just took it off because it was starting to get hot.
Okay.
Or too hot. So we're going to stir in the butter and let that melt.
How much butter did you put in there?
3 tablespoons.
Okay.
We're not going to skimp on the butter.
How much are you making? How many people are you making?
This says it serves between 6 and 8. This is a side that you really just need a little bit of. It's not like your mashed potatoes and stuffing where you're going to do a huge heaping of this. So what I'm going to do now.
Oh, that's looking pretty though. I mean, I can see it. Yeah.
And you want the sugar to get a little bit of brown because you really want it to caramelize, right? Okay, so once that's done, you're going to add the parsnips and I'm going to add the oranges in now. So the oranges I actually am doing today are little oh my god, I was going to say mandarin. They're mandarin oranges, and you're just going to slice them in rounds like this, and they're going to get cooked up and be beautiful. So let's put those in now so they get nice and caramelized. And then the skin on the mandarin is so thin that as this cooks in this sugar and butter, it's all going to be edible. It's like candying with candy in them, right?
I love to eat citrus. It's a little known fact about me.
I do too.
I eat my lemons.
I candy the peel at Christmas often and dip them in chocolate because
it's a good way to do it. So now we're going to add all of the parsnip here. Okay. So you can see this is 2 pounds. This was 2 pounds whole, and then I chopped it. So the time I've chopped it all done, it's a bit less because you're taking the core out and the skin off. Let's get back in the pool here, guys. Okay.
Yes, we're in the holiday spirit with multiple bottles of wine.
Yeah. Just gonna have all the wine bottles open.
Well, I think we should.
I'm finding them around our house. So this cooks. We really want to keep this on high heat and let this all get coated with that sugar and butter.
Okay.
For about 2 minutes. So I'm just going to keep stirring this around.
Let's talk about sweets with vegetables for Thanksgiving for a second.
You want to talk
about? I don't. I respect whatever anybody wants to eat, but I just don't get the marshmallow obsession. I don't like it. Don't like it with vegetables. I think what you're doing is as far as I could go, Holly, with sugary on my vegetable. I just feel like the marshmallows, most of the 99% of them are just high fructose.
Yeah, no, I'm not a marshmallow girl. Well, doing marshmallows, you will never find them on a table of mine.
I think part of it is if you want to add sweetness, because that's essentially what it is. It's like adding a cube of sugar, essentially. There are ways to do it like this, where you're more caramelizing, you're glazing it. There are, recipes in a lot of Thanksgiving things that call for brown sugar. It's the same thing. So I think if you like that sweet and savory combination, that's great. But I think add it more as you're cooking with the cooking as opposed to sprinkling sugar cubes on top of your food, That's my sort of thinking about it. No judgment on Corona Kitchen. If you love
show right now,
you want your marshmallows, you can
I got a great homemade recipe for marshmallows. One of these days.
I'd love to see that because I've always wanted to make them. I never eat them, never ever, but I'm curious about how they form.
It's really all about the corn syrup and a mixer. And you basically put it all the ingredients and vanilla and corn syrup, and you walk away, and 15 minutes later and gelatin, and 15 minutes later you have marshmallows.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I made them for my daughter Bella's birthday, and I let the girls decorate them, and we made them from scratch. It was super fun.
Now, could you add chocolate to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dip it.
You can add anything to marshmallows. In fact, we should do a marshmallow show because it's really a whole new world to make them from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fantastic.
Okay, so I think this is about done. So you see how they're all really glazed?
Yep.
And the mandarin oranges have really broken down, but they have a nice little brown caramelization on them, which is nice. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna turn down the heat and we are going to add the vinegar, water, salt, pepper, and wine. So if your heat's turned on and you're going to be pouring wine in, just know that it could possibly flambe and flame up. So if you're nervous about it,
have either a pot lid nearby or your fire extinguisher.
Make sure your hair is in a ponytail because
pull your hair back.
hair on fire.
Yeah, glasses help too. It protects your eyelashes.
There you go. There you go.
Happen.
So we're gonna do a quarter cup of wine. So mine's on low. And if you're concerned about it, just
Turn it off while you add that. Yeah.
Flammable.
Yeah.
So flambe. And then we're gonna do two tablespoons of white wine vinegar.
Okay.
And this is going to give it some nice acid to balance with all of that sweet. Now, the original recipe that I found is from an old gourmet magazine because I love to keep them. They're so fabulous. And they used a sweet wine infused vinegar. So,
Nice.
so I'm separating the two just because I wasn't sure what people have and what they don't have. And this all the ingredients that I'm using are very easy to find. The sweet wine vinegar is kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Okay, so we let that in. We're going to do a little bit of salt. I just so happen to have some Hollie's Homegrown orange and marigold salt.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Amazing how that worked.
We have a lot of products that just happen to be
It
lying
just
around.
so happened to come here. I don't know how to think of these.
Here, I will text it on the screen because I am good that way.
And then we're going to do just a little hit of ground pepper. Okay, that's it, tiny bit. And we're going to just give this a little stir and make sure everything's incorporated. We're also going to add some water. We are going to do a half a cup of water. Okay.
What's your dad's website?
llwine.com. Lucas, it's Lucas in the Welland Vineyards and Winery, but the website's llwine.com. Okay, so we've given that a good, everything's nice and coated, and then we're going to put the top on this puppy. And this is going to stay for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So this simmer on low, and this way the parsnips are going to cook. Because remember, they're hard like a carrot, so they're going to need some cooking time. So this is the 10 minutes we let them cook, and then after the 10 minutes, we're going to take the lid off and turn up the heat a little bit and let all the liquid evaporate because the real cooking time's done, and that's when this water and sugar and vinegar and wine's all going to turn into a really nice glaze.
Nice.
And we can finish it with a little bit of sprig of, orange juice. I was going to add a tiny bit of parsley at the end just to give it a little peppery and just a little fresh because I have to have herbs on everything. It's mandatory. And that's it. So this is something you can do all of what I was doing before, chopping up the parsnips and have the ingredients ready, tomorrow, and put the parsnips in a Ziploc bag or a glass Tupperware and keep them in your fridge. So this is fast side. You don't want to let them overcook too much because then they'll get too mushy. The nice part about when you do the glazing is it's going to put a little bit of a hard coat on them. So it'll be a little harder on the outside, but nice and mushy and yummy on the inside.
Delicious.
So that's it. That's
awesome.
Now, again, like Lisa said, you can do this with carrots. You can do this with rutabaga. You can do it with any other root vegetable. You can do this with even potatoes if you wanted. Although I like the carrots and the parsnips better because they're naturally just a little sweeter, and the potatoes might get a little gummy. But if you needed to stretch this out, you could, if you're wrestling with the old lady for the last parsnip and you don't win, you could put carrots and parsnips together or the rutabaga.
Give me that parsnip.
Give that to me, old Biddy. No, it's fun to mix up the vegetables for these holiday, small gatherings with people,
Very small.
Spend the last
pod people, with your pod people.
Yeah. So the other thing you could do with this too is you could swap out the wine and the white wine vinegar and add balsamic and do like a broccoli rabe or a string bean. That would be delicious too.
Show's still on. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Shay.
Hi. Teenager sighting.
So you could, so there are lots of different ways you can use this base glaze and then change out the vinegar for balsamic. And like I said, I love broccoli rabe, or you could put some kale in there too. Both of those things are better. You know, those are good digestive aids because in Thanksgiving you need to have a couple of digestive aid dishes are good. So those
You're
are
always concerned with that, Holly.
Oh, yeah.
You're reminding us of our greens.
What about turnips? Yes, I have done this dish, a dish similar to this with turnips, carrots, and parsnips, and mixed them all together, and they make a very pretty presentation too.
I think that's a great, and you know, you could use remember those different color carrots that I used for that canning episode? Those would be gorgeous in there.
Yeah,
And
really
carrots, you don't have to cut out the core like parsnip.
Right.
So some of those carrots, the inside, like the purple ones, the inside is yellow.
So pretty.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so pretty.
You want to say hi, Heidi? Come say hi, Heidi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Heidi.
We're in front of the fire. Holly just made a delicious glazed orange glazed parsnip. Nice.
Okay, I hope you guys are watching the scroll underneath. We want to support Fair Fight for our win in Georgia and postcards to swing voters. And how on Hollie's pop-up, is it still up, Hollie?
It is. We're still doing our pop-up in Lafayette, Northern California. And it's called the Holiday Gift Collective, and we're on Instagram. But if you go to my Instagram page, my Hollie's Homegrown, you'll find it there too.
Cool. All right.
So I think, you know, we can see now these are cooking through. So I'm going to just let this cook for another 5 minutes and let this glaze get going. And I'll take a picture for everybody when it's done.
Okay.
And we're going to eat it
Delicious.
with a nice pork tenderloin. So I'm going to make a pork tenderloin and then we'll slice it up and this will be underneath. It'll be delish.
Gorgeous. Happy Thanksgiving, someone's saying. Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Our favorite holiday in Corona Kitchen.
And the holiday recipes continue. We just want to let everybody know who's watching. We are going to be doing reruns tomorrow and Thursday. We'll be back on Friday with leftovers and probably
cocktails.
We'll see you on Friday.
Cocktails.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you guys. Bye. Thanks for the
Thanks, Holly. Everyone be safe, wear masks, stay in your pod.
We'll be talking to you. Yeah, be safe out there.
Yes.
Pod yourselves. Pod yourselves.
Yes.
Pod.